I'm trying to find a delicate way to say what I want to say. Kyrie Irving really doesn't get how he's been coming across. So let me try to break this down. Do you really think that people don't care that others are starving? Do you really think that people don't care that people are dying? Do you really think that people don't care? It could be the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. It could be racism and prejudice. It could be our nation's sordid history involving slavery and beyond. It could be all of those things. He doesn't realize that when he says stuff the way that he's saying, you're implying that other people don't care. But you do. I know Kyrie cares. I truly believe his heart is in the right place. I would also like to remind Kyrie Irving that you played 17 games as a collegiate athlete, but you still ended up going in the NBA and generating millions of dollars for yourself. How much would you be focused on these issues if you had to worry about paying your bills, feeding your family, and surviving? He wouldn't have to be concerned about those things. Now, why do I bring that up? Because it's not what he feels, it's who he's talking to, why he says it. I really don't care what y'all have to ask. That's not what's on my mind. You can't chew gum and walk at the same time? You just finished playing basketball. That is your job. And what you're saying is that it's not important. Now, you haven't played like it because he's a showstopper. He's box office. He's absolutely electrifying. And we have to pay attention to that. You walk through the turnstile to see Kyrie Irving because he's that special. Mm-hmm. But the flip side to it is that, my God, you better win. Because when you sit up here and you have that kind of attitude, but then you go out there, if you lose, when the expectation is for you to win, people are going to point to moments just like that. And the reason they're going to have an attitude with you is not because you cared and you may have prioritized something else in the crevices of your mind more so than basketball. It's that you're implying that other people don't. When you say stuff like that, we all care about that. We don't want to see people dying. We don't want to see people struggling. We don't want to see people starving. Of course, particularly if you're black, you have been ravaged by racism and prejudice and bigotry and being marginalized and minimized. We all go through that. This is not new to him. So when you sit up there and you look at people and you say stuff like that, you're talking to other people and you're saying, well, this might not be on your mind, but it's on my mind. And the fact is, you don't know. It's just that people may have jobs to do, like you have a job to do. So while you're there, just do it. Do your job. And part of his job is, oh my God, stop the presses. Your job might actually be not just playing basketball, but answering questions about it for 10 minutes. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Really? Have we done something that tragic, Max? Where to ask you about your job. Come on, man. Come on, man.
I hear everything you're saying, Stephen A. I'm not going to get on Kyrie today about that. I didn't get on him last time because I think we've all felt in life where we've seen some things going on in the world or learned about them and said, wait a minute, the world should stop spinning right now until that's addressed. Like, we should not be paying attention to any trivial thing in the world until that's addressed. So I hear you, Kyrie, and I agree with you. There are terrible things happening in this world. And sometimes answering questions about basketball or anyone doing their job feels ridiculous until, whoa, everybody, all 7 billion of us, let's take care of that, right? But what Stephen A., what you're talking about is being a professional. You know who I think about? Our colleague here at ESPN, Teddy Atlas. Ever talk to Teddy or read anything that Teddy's written about his father and how his father showed him how to be a professional, what that really means? Talk to Magic Johnson, talking about, like, I can't get the papers or what was it, his garbage off the stoop. It's frozen. His dad's when he's a kid. It doesn't matter if it's frozen. Our job is to collect that. You go chip the ice away and go get it, right? About being a professional. Stephen A., your mother, my father. These people spent decade after decade after decade making a living caring for large families, right? You can't miss a day of work. You know, you can't be sick. Don't get sick. And if you are, figure it out. Being a professional, I get every single thing you're saying. I would just say to Kyrie that I get how you feel, Kyrie, and oftentimes I and many feel the same way. And I appreciate that when microphones are in front of your face and cameras are on you, you're saying, wait a minute, people are listening to me right now. I can't talk about a pick and roll. I need to talk about babies dying and how to stop this. Kyrie, I hear you and I agree. I would just like to point out something, and Stephen A., I think essentially we're agreeing on this, but you tell me if it's anything different. The reason the microphones are on you and the cameras are on you is because you're great at basketball. That's why people care what you say. And if you really care about even delivering that message, if you want to amplify your voice to change the world, as stupid as it may seem, win. Win. Stephen A., Muhammad Ali would not mean what he meant in history. He'd be more of a footnote if he lost to George Foreman in Zaire. That's just the way it is. People would not be talking about him the same way, and he would not have had the voice he had. So if Kyrie is really serious about this, and I believe in his sincerity about this, win. Not just be box office, do your best to amplify your voice, and however you feel, whatever this means about the society you live in, people will pay attention if you win.